Have you ever been struggling with your upcoming job interview? Are you worried? Are you panicked? Don't worry. I have a tips that will help you to go through your job interview. Good morning to one and all present here. Today I'm going to talk and give a job interview advice that will help you to understand better about the job interview. Here is my content of summary. I have 5 things to say in my entire presentations. The first one is about getting to know about yourself. Second one is about handling the interview. Third, interview tips. Fourth, handling the interview questions. And 5, write our message. Let me start with the first one. So you have to know yourself first in terms of skills, abilities, and potentials. You can recognize this by using the 3 skills that I'm going to present you in the next slide, which are technical skills, transferable skills, and adaptive skills. I'm going to explain each of them in the next slide. Here, the first one, the technical skills. The technical skills is a skill that you require in order to do in that positions or the job that you enroll for. For example, if you want to work in the marketing divisions, what you need is a marketing skills. But however, if you have a IT or computer skills, and you want to work in the marketing skills, that is not a good match. So for that, you must have the exact needs or the exact skills that you will need in order to do in that particular role. And this can be the marketing skills, the brand management skills, or the sales skills, according to what are you going to do or to join or enroll in the particular divisions of the job. Here, the second one, the transferable skills. Transferable skills is a skills that can be transferred from one job to the other job. It can be used in a variety of roles and positions too. For example, writing clearly or writing skills, listening skills, reading skills, or even speaking skills. This can be developed further, and this can be even more. You can develop it even more further. It can be transferred to one and another job. You can use it anytime. And the last one, adaptive skills, is a skill that help you or show the adaptabilities to the variety of the situations and environment. So, for example, getting to work on time, or get along, or collaborating well with the co-workers, or being creative in the workplace, or being energetic while doing the work. So here just prove that you are adaptive well in the workplace or not, or you have the adaptability skills or not. So now moving to handling the interview part. So in here, interview have 4 types. There are 4 types of the interviews that I'm going to present. Start with the first one, which is 1-to-1 interview. So there is going to be 2 people in the room, which are you and the interviewers. So it's the most common interview type, probably. And the interviewers will ask you 2 types of questions, which are the technical questions, just to see that you are qualified for the job or position you enroll or not. If you enroll for the marketing, then they will see that, okay, what you have stated for the technical skills that they ask for, are you qualified for that? And for the general question part, they will see that they will see your critical thinking and analyzing skills. They will see that, for example, if they ask you to analyze that if the company has a current problem, they might ask you to analyze or tell them their opinions about the problem solving, or what should they do in order to solve the problem that is going on in the company, to test your critical thinking and analyzing skills. The second interview type is a panel interview. It's a time-saving form of interview, where there will be 2 to 5 interviewers where they will be assessing you, which may cause some of the people to be panicked and worried because there are too many interviewers and you are only one candidate to be asked by many interviewers. It gives a feeling of panicking. And they will assessing you on the communication skills and the other skills such as your potential, your abilities, or maybe your well manners or in behaving in the public. For the communication part, they will see that how you communicate with the other interviewers. For the third type of the interview, which is a group interview. So the group interview, you and other candidate will be interviewed by the interviewers at the same time and at the same room. So they will look at the communication skills, leadership skills, stress coping, and how you behave in the public. For the communication skills, they will look at how you communicate with other candidates and the interviewers. And the leadership skills, they will look at how you show your leaderships in the group of the candidates and how you collaborating with them, and how you manage your stress, how you manage your pressure, and how you manage the pressure during the interview. And the last one is a lunch interview. The interviewers will look at how you perform the social settings. For example, the social settings can be connected with your personalities. So for example, they will look at how, how you behave. For example, are you charming and relaxed, or you are awkward or evasive during the interview? You trying to evade the questions of the interviewers or not? Did you have eye contact? Something like that. Now I will move to the interview tips. There are 4 main tips that I select for this part. The first one is be on time, be punctual, come early. But early in this case doesn't mean that you have to come 1 hour or 2 hours before. Just approximately of 15 minutes, and that is fine. It's to give you time to prepare for your job interview, and just only 15 minutes can help you to recap your script, or just recap what are you going to say, or to reduce your panicking and reduce your worriness. And also, some of the people may want to go to the washroom before they are going in for a job interview. And you can use the 15 minutes to make yourself confident and be proud of yourself of what you are going to do. Next, you have to dress appropriately. You have to be professional, not casual. The being casual or wearing casual dress for the interview convey the indirect message of you disrespect the interviewers. So here is the dress of men and women. This is the formal dress. So for men, you have to dress the suit that color match with the trousers. You have to wear the necktie, less jewelry as possible, and then wear the lace shoes. For women, as same, you have to wear the same color suit as the trousers or skirt, and you have to wear the lace shoes. To give you an in-depth or insight information, so for men, you have to get a clean haircut, you have to wear a proper suit with the same color, you have to wear a belt, you have to wear a necktie, everything has to be classic business suit. And you have to bring the resume or the working professional pen for the emergency purpose, and then wear your latest shoes. For women, you have to make your hair proper. You have to use natural makeup. You have to clean your nails. You have to wear less amount of jewelry as possible. You have to wear the suit as same color as the skirt or the trousers. You have to wear the latest shoes, and that's it. The third tips, be yourself. Be your best self. Why you have to be your best self? Be your best self can convey the meaning of you are being the confidential, and you want to prove that you are suitable for the role, that you want to work in the organizations, and you want to sell yourself as possible. So by doing that, first you have to be your best self. You have to be calm, you have to focus. You can be confidential if you be your best self during the job interview. You can be positive, you can stay focused, and you can be enthusiastic person. And everything you say is truthful, and they can believe. It's the being your best self. It's like proving that your abilities is outstanding. and you can do, and you have your confidential, and you take your pride of everything you do. And the last step is to do the firm handshake. Many people don't know how to do the firm handshake. The firm handshake is a business handshake, where while doing the handshake, you have to look into the people's eyes and then smile, and then start the friendly conversations. And that is called a business handshake. And that's all what you need for the job interview. There are more, but these things are main point that you have to follow. Now let me move to how you handling the interview questions. So I have 3 interview questions that people think that is the hardest. So let me start with the first one. The first one is about tell me about yourself. What do you think after you see these questions? These questions is not about telling about your personal life or family life. It's about telling, it's not about you, it's about them. So what you should answer in these questions, actually, you have to tell them about your qualifications, your experiences, and your past achievement. This can be your past experiences about the later job, about your past achievement, what you have done, what you are responsible for your goal, and your qualifications. And then don't forget to mention your strengths and abilities. Next questions. The interviewers may ask, tell me about your great strengths or weakness. Again, it's not about you, it's about them. Why it's about them? It's about what a company looking for. Here, what do you have to do in here is that you have to search for what the company requires, the strength that they want. And then if you find one that matches with your strengths, and then you have to tell them a success story about your strengths that reflects your achievement with the strengths. The third one, and in the end, the interviewers may ask you, why should we hire you? Tell me your reasons. Many of people may struggling with this, but I can bet you, if you can do this, it's all going to be okay. Again, it's not about you, it's about them, the organizations. So you have to analyze the job description first. You have to be prepared. You have to know the requirement and qualifications of that position you are trying to enroll. And you have to choose your strength. And then after you choose the strengths, that, okay, I'm going to work in this position because I have blah, blah, blah. And then you have to prove it by telling that what are you responsible for the past achievement to make them believe. You won't tell anything without the evidence, right? Okay, now let's move on to the last part, which is the thank you message. The thank you message. Why we have to write a thank you message? Because we have to show our appreciation, because the interviewers spend the time to interview us, and they waste their time to interview us, and they have to do many things. And now, the more important about the thank you message is that you have to restate the interest of you want to do in that positions in the organizations. You have to restate everything that you have said. Maybe not everything, but every important part that you have stated in your job interview. And you have to remind interviewers about the qualifications that you have stated before during the job interview. And if you forget anything that you want to say during the job interview, you may state in the thank you message. Here is how the thank you message looks like. It looks like a proper email. It looks like a proper email because the format is just look the same, but you have to write the thank you message. You can follow this format. And here is what you do and you should not do to write the thank you email. What you should do is that you have to send the email for not more than 2 days period. And then you have to include all of the interviewers in the email. Next, you have to provide the link of your profile. For example, your LinkedIn profile to see that who you are. And now you have to provide them to remind them your qualifications. And what you should not do is that you should not send the thank you email with grammatical incorrect emails. You should not send something that makes you look bad. You should not be too casual, too unprofessional. You have to be professional. And you should not disrespect the interviewers or stalking them. Thank you for listening to my presentations. Here, that's it for my advice for the interview. And I hope you can use all the advice that I have stated for the further benefits and use. Thank you.